Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We have a new Behind the Ships episode from this morning to take a look at today. This is for the RSI Meteor. We're not going to be walking through the entire thing today, but we will go through a couple different points in the video to talk about some different parts of the ship, explore kind of what role this could serve, how this matches up against other fighters. There is definitely a little bit of confusion. At least I'm a little bit confused as to partially why they've made some of the choices they have, but we'll talk about that. Talk about potentially the strengths of the ship, the weaknesses, and all that sort of good stuff. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. All right, so I'll play this first section, just a couple seconds here. This is where they describe apparently what type of ship that the Meteor is, what class of ship. I had assumed it was going to be a heavy fighter, but as we'll see here, apparently it's not.
The Meteor is, at its core, a medium fighter you can spend your time on, you can live on it. It's got everything you'd need to live out in space.
So from what they're saying, it sounds like they're going to be classifying this as a medium fighter, which typically means decent maneuverability, decent speed, decent survivability. So more tanky than the light fighter like your Gladius or maybe the base Mantis, but not as tanky as a Guardian, an F8, those sort of things. Now, this is very interesting that they're considering it a medium fighter when it has an interior. And, as we'll see in a moment, given the quite extensive weapons package that this has, it's also a bit surprising that it's considered a medium. Also going off of the little speedometer here, when they're accelerating forward, they're at 25.7 Gs. That's pretty sure that would be like interceptor tuning. So very, very fast forward acceleration, which, as far as I know, like, another medium fighter like the F7, I want to say it gets 16 or 17 Gs or so of forward acceleration. So that's quite a bit more additional just straight line boost speed. So potentially it'll trade that off for some yaw turn rate. I don't know. We'll have to see. But next, let's go to a part where they talk about the weapons package of the Mantis.
Starting with the front, first thing that you're going to notice on this bad boy is the two bespoke size 5 ballistic cannons that we ended up adding.
Okay, so we can see here these two big old guns on the sides. They are apparently bespoke size 5 ballistic cannons. So, as they describe in the video, low rate of fire, generally pretty high alpha damage, usually also a slower projectile speed. So these guns are really going to be more meant to take on larger ships. It's going to be probably quite difficult to hit, say, light fighters or medium fighters, even heavy fighters with these things, unless you're really, really accurate or you're really, really, really close. But the other thing that we can see that I was surprised to find out is that this actually has 4 size 3 weapons in addition to the 2 size 5s, whereas going off of the sneak peek we got a couple weeks ago, it looked like it was going to have 2 size 5s and 2 size 3s, which I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty deep, that's still a lot, but okay, that's not too bad. But the 4 size 3s, I mean, just those 4 guns is the same weapons you get on like a Saber. So, and I mean, if you're going off of just weapon sizes, then technically this would have, again, considering it's a medium fighter from what they said, then technically this one-ups the F7A Mark II in terms of just weapon sizing, because the F7 is 2 size 4 and 4 size 3. Now, again, these are bespoke ballistics. You can't change them. The Hornet or, other ships that have the size, like fighters that have the size 5s, like the Guardian or the Vanguard, you can change those out for a laser cannon, those sorts of things. So that is one disadvantage that this will have, is just not being able to have those different ones. And I think it's going to be it'll be difficult to use both the size 3s and the size 5s at the same time, probably because of different velocities and whatnot. So we'll have to see how it plays out during combat, but definitely quite a lot of firepower for this ship. Now here you can see it's a little bit blurry, but the Meteor next to the Mantis, as far as I can tell, there's a few minor differences, like a little bit of extra bits and bobs, like these little fins. I don't think are on the outside of the regular Mantis. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar. Makes sense, they're variants. So I do really like the paint scheme that you get on the Meteor. There's a few paints that they'll show a little bit later in the video, and there's some really, really nice ones. So I do really like that about it. I'm definitely going to have to try it and see how it feels with these weapons. So there's just a little side-by-side comparison of the Meteor and the base Mantis. Here you can see one of the paints for it. This nice black and red. This one looks so good. There's a couple of other ones too that look really nice as well that we'll see later. But man, could I get a skin like this for my Polaris, please? Thanks. Maybe the Perseus. Could we get a skin like this? That would be, yeah. That would be really, really nice. Please, please, Chris Roberts, give me the skin for my Perseus. Now, something else I just noticed, and this may just be the same default missiles that you get on the regular Mantis, but there is these little compartments here that have what looks like 2 size 2 missiles, so I'd assume there's one on the other side as well. So they haven't showed the missile little bay quite yet, but in addition to what you can put back there, looks like you'll get a couple extra size 2 missiles up at the front as just a little extra addition.
Underneath, we have a size 4 hardpoint that can fit on size 4 rack, single S4 missiles. You can swap those down to 2 size 3.
So here we have a nice look at that kind of back rear torpedo bay. This is, I'm pretty sure, basically where in the base Mantis you have the quantum interdictor. So like I said, you can put 2 size 4s in each bay. It gives you 4 size 4s. I think because of how the racks are put on there, it's a rack for a single size 4 and not 2 size 4s. Otherwise, you could probably upsize it even one more to put on a single size 5, but I think they've intentionally done it this way so you don't do that, so that there's space for like the Vanguard Harbinger or the Gladiator to carry those size 5s. But you can carry 4 size 4s, 8 size 3s, 16 size 2s, or 32 size 1s, which is a not insignificant amount of missiles. I'd probably run size 2s, probably Rattlers or something like that. But yeah, pretty decent missile payload on this.
Interior, as soon as you end up going up the ramp, that's had a nice little...
Now here's where they'll go up in the interior. You'll see a little bit of kind of the rework of it. And I believe this has been transferred over to the regular Mantis as well. It's kind of got like a Zeus styling now. First, you can see there's a little caution light at the bottom of the elevator. Lots of ships are getting this now by their cargo ramps and things like that. Then they'll show in a second here the inside of the ship as well.
Lighting effect added for it. You'll go in and see that the inside has been completely remodeled from the old Mantis interior.
So here you can see, I'd say it's definitely got Zeus in it. There is also a little bit of kind of the Polaris like grays. The Polaris has quite a bit of different shades of gray in its interior, so it looks pretty good, and you know it looks definitely up to date with like the modernized RSI styling. They don't go through everything and like show all the little components and everything, but they will show in a minute. There's a cool little I guess party trick you can consider that it has that they'll talk about just in a second here.
Turning around from the seat, you can catch really quick that we do have a button, and when you press that, you will have a weapon rack that's coming out of the floor.
So that's a nice little trick right here. Just a little button. I would kind of hope they have a button somewhere closer to it maybe as well to put it up. I don't know. But it's a little box that comes up and it's a weapon rack for you. So I think there's 1 primary weapon slot, 2 secondaries. This blue thing might be another little storage locker. I would hope it is, to be honest. But yeah, just a nice little party trick, I guess you could say. A little unique thing that we haven't seen before for just a little hidden weapon rack, which I thought was just a nice little cool addition to the ship.
So every ship I work on, I make sure to put some kind of inspection sticker on that lists the designers and artists that worked on it. And for this ship, we've added someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah, okay, let me redo that.
No, I'll be someone else.
the paints on this one were.
And as Jared is a very big fan of the Mantis, he really likes this ship as well, the Meteor. He wanted it. He always wanted it to be more than it was. So on these little stickers, you might find these on some of the other RSI ships. They usually have some little Easter eggs on them. But this one, the Inspector, is Disco. So that is Jared's, I guess, in-game name or whatever. So in a way, you can think of this as Jared's ship. Here we have what I'm pretty sure will be the standard paint. So we got black and blue. It's very reminiscent of the Polaris's standard skin. And then in a second here, if we go forward, they'll show the red one, which again looks really nice. It's kind of a metallic-y red. And then we have, go forward a little more. This is, I think they said it's supposed to be kind of a gold, but it's kind of like a gold iridescent. So got some kind of blues down here. It looks really nice. Again, kind of a metallic finish to it. And then there's a teal one, and that one looks a little bit more matte. And then we also have a disco theme. So I'm assuming Jared picked out these colors. We got some blues, some reds, and some black. So just I'd say a nice variety of skins. There might be a couple others that they come out with for the Meteor. I would imagine any Mantis skins will probably work with this as well. I guess we'll have to see though once we get the Q&A for it. But there we go. So this the Meteor will be coming in 4.2.1. That'll probably be going live, I would expect, in the next week or so. There is going to be another PTU patch today that maybe they'll have the Meteor in that. We'll have to see. If there isn't, I'm able to like access it or, walk around it. I'll definitely make a video for it, checking it out for y'all. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. The only thing that I'm a little confused about is the balance of the weaponry on it. Because if it's a medium fighter that also has an interior, but has those bespoke size 5s and those 4 size 3s. It's a lot of firepower. So I hope that it's balanced correctly so that it still can have a place in the game, but not just, instantly become the new meta that everyone wants to run. I would think it'll probably still be pretty squishy, like the base Mantis. We don't know technically on the components yet. I don't know if it's going to have size 1 shield, size 2. We'll have to see. But it might be that it's just a really fast kind of boom and zoom ship. So maybe similar to like maybe you can think of it like a souped up Buccaneer, a little bit more survivable, maybe some more firepower. But you also get some living quarters. So we'll have to see how they end up balancing it, but I'm excited to check it out. If you enjoyed this little breakdown and walkthrough of the video, feel free to leave it a like, as it really helps the channel. And if you want to see more Star Citizen news videos for ships, new patches, all those sorts of things, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the verse.